what the organization are expecting from the person who is going to, give out the resume or the CV for the work given out by the organization. So the organization has their objective, they have their mission, they have their vision statement. So, however, with their vision and their mission statement, they will try to coin all these things out and ensure that the right applicant will be selected via their personnel and HR management team.
A rich man's world.
Welcome everyone. You're welcome back to another moment with It's No Peters. And today I'm here with Christopher De Pillars. He's a writer, content creator, and a CV specialist. Thanks for coming, and it's a pleasure having you today.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
So today we'll be talking on how to write CV. He's a CV specialist, so he will be telling us on how the format to write CV that will catch the attention of the organization that we need to submit it to. So I'm having some questions which I'm going to ask you, and
Right,
it will be glad if you can provide an answer to the viewers. So the first question is, what's the difference between a resume and a CV?
Okay, thank you for the question, and once again, thank you for having me. A CV, just like we all know the full meaning, it means curriculum vitae, and the word is coined from Latin word, and so to say, we can also call it course of life. So CV is just periodically about the experience, the work offer, the skills, and everything about the person or the crafter of the CV. So CV is just primarily about everything about someone. Why resume? Resume is just a sum up in the sense that it's just a short and concise details of oneself. So you draft it out, and the length it can be comprehend or it can be compared to CV in the sense that CV, it has to be details about you, everything about you, from your experience, your skills, your professional stuff, your publication, everything about you, your hobbies, your interests, and as well your personal statement. Your personal statement in the sense that objective. Whenever you want to write a CV, you already have an objective. So objective is just a brief statement about you. It's just a summary about what you can do. For example, I'm a marketer and I'm hoping for something. It's just a concise statement about what you can do. So CV is just about everything, your academic stuff, your publication, if perhaps you have one, your hobbies, your interests, your certification, everything. But resume is just a concise, short details about oneself. So there's difference between the two. But nowadays we tend to interchangeably use the two. Okay. So there are some countries like South Africa, Australia, some European countries, they tend to accept the two. So whenever you make mention of CV, you can submit resume. When you make mention of resume, you can take it as CV as well. Okay. So due to the advent of the technology, we tend to mix the two as one. Perhaps they are different. So in terms of the differences, the length, because a resume, it could be 1 or 2 pages at most, but a CV at most could be 10 pages. So it could be 10 pages, and the details, the information provided in resume, it can be comprehended or compared to the CV. So length structure, the information provided, and as well the format in which you are drafting out the CV and the resume are one of the differences that we have in between these two concepts of work offer.
Thank you. So in short, there are some countries that accept resume and at the same time they accept CV. Yes. When you're doing the application.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Then another question. The second question is this: when writing a CV, am I to look at the organization or what I have to offer?
The question is in two parts.
Okay.
The first part is about the organization, and you as a person trying to venture into that organization, you have a value to offer. So when it's come to the organization, organization do have their presumption. I would call it presumption, but so to say, people do call it um, what the organization are expecting from
the
the person
applicants.
who is going to give out the resume or the CV for the work given out by the organization. So the organization has their objective, they have their mission, they have their vision statement. So, however, with their vision and their mission statement, they will try to coin all these things out and ensure that the right applicant will be selected via their personnel and HR management team. So, for a recruiter to select someone who is going to be part of their organization, there are some things they will be looking out for
In the applicants,
in the
right?
applicant. Yes, there are some things, and apart from that, there are some basic questions that the applicant should as well ask even after wrapping up the interview. Like for example, you have been asked varieties of questions, and you as well you ought to ask some questions about the salary, your net salary. Because there are some organization they can give out 100,000 as a salary in a month, and if perhaps you didn't get to ask about the net salary in the sense that the salary is it going to be after the deduction of tax or before the deduction of tax? Because if you are asked, or if someone asks you that okay, we'll be paying you 10,000 or 100,000 every month, I will just feel like wow, this is a great offer, so let me give in into it. And after the working this thing for the whole month, you are given 80,000, and you'll be wondering why. The agreement was 100,000, not 80,000, and the company will be like, well, it is the tax structure, and we have already removed the tax structure. So it is expedient for someone, the applicant, to ask about the net salary, about the holiday, if perhaps there is holiday involved, because it will be an idea for you to have the concept of Monday to Friday work offer, and the company do cause you to resume on Saturday or Sunday. So for you to be groomed on what the organization will be expecting from you and what you'll be expecting from the organization, you need to ask the holiday and if there's a vacation involved. You need to ask about other things like um, the teamwork. So it's very, very important to know the teamwork. If perhaps it's going to be a teamwork or it will be an individual work. So there are so much question to ask, so much question to ask.
All right. Sorry, I want to put out something. You said when writing a CV, it's about your work experience, right?
Yes.
So if peradventure I see an organization that wants to hire a manager, and I haven't been one before, but I have the experience, can I add it to my CV and submit it?
Yes. We have varieties of CV.
Okay.
If perhaps you browse on Google, they will bring out 5, 7 different type of CV. However, we only have just 4. Yes, sometimes it could be 3, sometimes it could be 4. The 4 in the sense that academic CV has been added to the previous 3. The previous 3 are chronological CV, functional CV. Functional CV is still known as skill CV, and combination. Combination in the sense that it involves both the chronological CV and the skills of functional CV. So when we talk about you having no experience or you have zero experience, that's why it is expedient to give into volunteer services.
All right.
And there are some organizations, they do release a memo for applicants, and the memo will be a system in which if perhaps you are interested in intern service, so that you can opt in, and for the year you can get to experience some
right?
idea about the work. But there are some times we actually don't understand the work experience, in the sense that there are some services we do render for some organization or um, religious activities. We tend to see it, or we tend to outlook it as if they are not matters. They are matters a lot.
I can add it to my experience.
Yes,
as
we
well.
can. You can't, but there's a way you have to restructure the word so that it will fit into the position you are
Position I'm
applying.
applying to.
Yes. For example, you are in a media department in an organization or in a church, so to say. With this experience, you can also apply it to your CV. So it will also give you some edge above other
Others.
applicants.
Wow.
So that's just about it. But about the varieties of the CV, the chronological CV, it's about the recent activities you have induced yourself to or you have indulged yourself to. Why the skills or functional CV, just about your skills. You draft in all your skills. Why the academy? Academy is just in between the chronological and the skills because you are just coming out as a graduate. So your academic activities will give you an edge to craft out the CV.
Wow, thank you. So moving on, can you briefly list out the mistakes people make while writing CV?
Wow, that's a very, very powerful question because we have tons of varieties of mistake that applicants do mix. In fact, if this mistake wouldn't be corrected,
Okay.
we persistently indulge in all these mistakes. Number one mistake is using a wrong format. We have format online that someone can just download, and with this format, you'll be, edging yourself out from the organization you are applying to. There are some formats. It will be a page, and all your information would be too shabby. Like it will, it will jump hard. And if you are, because one thing about all this recruiter is that you only have just 8 to 10 seconds for them to glance through your CV. And if they couldn't get something meaningful or something that will catch their interest, they'll just feel like you're not serious. So, but poor formatting is one of the mistake. And if you really want to get some good format, there are some AI tools that have been giving out a good format, like ZT, Intelligent CV. There are some formats you can download from this application, and with that you can draft out a good CV. Apart from poor formatting, we also have headshots. These days, all these CV formats, they do include headshots. Headshots in the sense that your picture
In a CV?
in a CV, yes.
Wow.
And if you added your picture in the CV, and the company you are applying it for is not a modeling company or a related company to modeling, no, it's going to be a zero score for the applicant. So you don't have to include your headshot, and you don't have to include your personal information. Your personal information like your religion, your tribe, your race. No.
What
All-
about age?
No, age is not supposed to be there as well. All what they needed is for you to add your address, your full name, your email, and your phone number. In fact, one of the mistakes is that we don't make use of our social media handles. You have to add your social media handles
Into the CV
into the
as well.
CV, yes. Because with your social media handle, the organization can fast track your activities online. And that's why we have different stories online circulating that Zenith Bank tend to recruit an applicant, and they browse through the social media handle
accounts, yeah,
and they
yeah.
couldn't find something, or perhaps the same applicant would have been
He has thought bad
you
about
know,
the organization.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
talks something bad about them. So with that, they wouldn't want to recruit. So that's why it's very, very important for someone to make use of this social media handle as a social capital, not as a destructive criticism. So we also have other mistakes like making use of bad spelling or bad grammar. So it's part of the mistakes. We also have mistakes in which you don't give a concise image about yourself. Image in the sense that your work experience is not included in your CV, your educational background or status is not included in your CV, and you expect the recruiter to assume that okay, you have this. No, you have to include your work experience, your educational background, your interest. because your interest is one of the things that they will be looking out for. But most especially, you have to ensure that you craft in that CV to the work offer you are applying for. You are applying a role of sales representative, and your CV is actually about technology.
Okay.
It's not, it doesn't
related.
correspond or relate to each other. So you have to ensure that all your information geared toward that work you are applying for. Another thing is your skills. Yes, one of the things that the recruiter are looking out for is the character, so to say. Character in the sense that your skills, they're part of your character. Your educational background is part of it.
Alright, so this last question though.
Okay.
Now, in Nigeria right now, due to the fact of the value of Naira and everything, everyone is seeking for an international organization to work in. Presently, I believe so, especially those tech bros and others. And what if I'm looking for an international organization? Can I use my Nigerian CV to apply?
There are some platforms in which you can get a format for an international CV.
Okay.
If perhaps the organization you are submitting your CV required their own format, then you can use up their format. But if perhaps you want to, craft in to ensure that it is situated to what the international company will be requesting for, then you can use of the international CV as well. And there are some online platforms in which you can get all this format. Just like I said earlier, we have ZT, that's ZETY. We also have Intelligent CV, and there are some cafe that could be of help, like all this online cafe that could be of help in terms of getting an international format. And you can as well, engage yourself to ensure that you can build the CV on your own.
Okay.
Yeah. So online platform like ZT, Intelligent CV can be of help to drafting your international CV.
All right, thank you. Then about those online platforms, I remember there was a time I was trying to write a CV,
Okay.
but I was unable to download. They were asking me to pay. Are those online platforms free, or I have to pay before I'm able to download those templates?
Well, one thing about the organizational platform is that they're also service oriented.
Okay.
Service oriented in the sense that it's going to be win-win for the both sides. You pay for their formats, they will give you the
What you
formats.
want.
Yes, but and there are some organization or there are some online platform in which they will ask you for the information. So if perhaps you can give in their information, they will also give you different formats. So you select the one you think is best for what you want to apply for. Then they will ask for payment. And there are some platform it is free. Like Intelligent CV is free. Very, very free. Intelligent CV is free. But ZT is not free. ZT is not free. And if perhaps you have your PC, you can download format online. Just type in international CV format, download it, work it on your PC. You can also craft in a good format as well with that.
Wow, thank you. For you, we've actually dealt with a lot of questions. Difference between resume and CV, format in writing your CV, and the mistakes people make while writing CV. Those that are coming up, just little word of encouragement for them.
Okay. Well, I don't really have much to say in this question.
Okay.
It's just that for someone who's trying to apply to his or her dream job, my advice is just to ensure that you build a career capital. A career capital in the sense that trying to indulge yourself to things that will ensure that you become better of yourself. Because out there are a lot of organizations looking for employment and looking for applicants to work for the organization. Because here in Nigeria, there's this popular saying that there's no work. However, there is work. But are we ready to get ourselves into that requirement of the organization? So if I have to believe that you can't get to the organization, you can work in trying to ask if perhaps they accept intern or volunteer service. With that volunteer service, you can build your career capital. So with your career capital, you are piling up your CV gradually. So with that, you can also build your dream job. And another advice is that don't give up on yourself, because one thing about employment offer is that you will get so many no's, so many no's, but there's always a yes awaiting for us.
Sure.
But for us to get that yes, that means we need a lot of work to ensure that we can get to that yes. So for now, let's take every forms of no as a way to build more and become better of ourselves. Because if as we can build ourselves, we'll become a valuable person that who, you know, it's very, very hard for people to ignore us, even the organization to ignore us. So with that, we can have a good, successful life.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing a lot with us here. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. And if you want to listen more and learn more, please try to subscribe, like, and comment. Trust me, on this platform, we all grow together. See you guys in the next episode.